Just tomorrow, we have to meet back to the
We went for a meal and they kept us waiting.
Oh yeah, thank you, first of all, for being here and talking with me. The first question would be, you mentioned in your panel that you don't really see UK as a secular country. It might be a shock for most of the listeners and the people watching this interview. Can you please mention why you think UK is not a secular state?
Okay, well, I think we are actually quite a secular country. I just don't think we're a secular state. So I think we, as a people, I think the citizens of the UK have a very secular outlook, but our state institutions just haven't kind of caught up with that. We're still stuck in our Christian past. So, you know, for example, if you want to be the head of state in the UK, unless you're a Christian, you can't be. Actually, you need to come from a particular bloodline as well. And we've got this situation in the UK where our head of state is also the supreme governor of the Church of England and a defender of the faith. So, you know, the whole idea of head of state and Christianity is very much tied up together. And from that, all sorts of privileges for Christianity flow. So we've got an established church. The church is established in law, meaning technically we are a Christian nation. That means we've also got 26 Anglican clerics who sit as of right in our legislature, in the House of Lords, our upper chamber. And that gives them incredible access to lord makers and the corridors of power, and they can, you know, take part in debates and vote in debates. And these are seats as of right for Anglican clerics. And from that, we also have laws mandating collective worship in schools. We have state-funded faith schools. All of our parliamentary sessions begin with Christian prayers. So, you know, there's lots of reasons to say that we're not really a secular state, even though we are very secular now in our outlook. So, you know, part of the work that we do is just try and convince legislators to make the changes in legislation necessary. So get rid of the bishops from the House of Lords, get rid of prayers in schools, get rid of prayers in Parliament. These are the constitutional changes that we need to see.
Yeah, Stefan, you represented National Secular Society in this seminar. What are you guys doing? Like, how you support or protect secularism in Europe or in the UK?
Yeah, well, we work primarily in the UK, but we also have a kind of global aspect to our work as well. We work in international human rights forums, like the UN Human Rights Council, the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child. We take part in these forums to advocate for secular policies. But primarily, we do a lot of policy work in the UK, trying to persuade politicians and parliamentarians to support secular reforms in the UK. So that's the bulk of the work that we do.
What sort of reforms do you mean? Can you give me an example?
Yeah, for example, we've got state-funded faith schools in the UK, faith schools that can discriminate against children in admissions. So unless you go to church, you can't attend the local publicly funded church school. So what we want, one example of something we're campaigning for is, yes, we want to get rid of faith schools altogether, but while we have faith schools, we want to make sure that they can't discriminate against people on the basis of their parents' religious activities. So that's one example of a reform. There's loads more. We want to get rid of the law that requires an act of daily collective worship in schools. So, there's all sorts of, we've got a massive policy portfolio. We work across so many different areas. And that's, keeps us real busy.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Stefan. Thank you for your time.